Welcome to the First 40 Sports Show with the Goon Squad, Blackboard, Ice Water, and yours truly, Puma. We're going to hit some NFL, NBA, college basketball. The college playoffs is coming up. We're going to get our predictions in the second part of the show, and we're going to touch the fight game just a bit because there's some big heavyweight fights, Black, on the first. Big heavyweight fights. I think the whole card is with the heavyweight. So we'll see a lot of heavyweights on the first to start the first of the year. But I want to get to the summary of week 16 of the NFL. Ice, what did you think? Give me your impression of week 16 of the NFL.
Man, a lot of craziness kept going on and on. I was looking at it, I was like, man, what the hell is going on? But I got a little lucky this week on a couple of little things, but the craziness kept going on. The way that Tennessee was able to come back and beat San Francisco, I'm like, man, I thought San Francisco had the game. They jumped out early. Thought they were going to lock that down, weren't able to do it. Of course, the sentimental favorite is Buffalo Road, bro. They rolled over them Patriots. Allen got hot. I mean, the way that they were embarrassed the first time, I was like, there's no way in hell. I think they're going to sit back and let that happen. And they didn't. And, I mean, hell, what can you say about the Texans, man? I've been dogging the Texans all year long. But the Texans got a little quarterback now. That's soon he can play a little bit. And Buckhead, old New England running back came out and blew up. So at least for 1 week, they look like a football team. Let me just say that.
All right, Black Thor, let me get your summary or eye test of week 16 in the NFL. And that one game got you, bro. The one game got you.
That's what it was, man. I can't say too much about that because, it's just one game. He chose right. He chose right. I chose wrong. I'll do that. We got 2 more weeks. He's a temporary champ. I'll say that. Right now, temporary champ. Until we get to the finish line, he's temporary. He might be the permanent, but right now he's temporary champ. I hear you, boss. It worked last week. I'm gonna start right there because I don't know how good of a coach you think you are, Belichick. You better get a quarterback because that guy ain't it. Matt Jones ain't it, bro. Matt Jones is far from being it. He's not even close, man. Not close. His passes is just horrible. If they could have won that game with a decent quarterback, a very decent quarterback, they could have won that game. Again, Cowboys win the championship, bro. They won the Super Bowl. Mark it down because they blew the Redskins out on primetime television. So we already know they're gonna win. They're gonna win the championship coming. Mark it up. I'm looking at Minnesota, and I'm saying to myself, you all got to make some changes over there because it's just I don't understand. My son, I was talking about this a couple of times. That team is too talented offensively to basically do what they do. Keep coming short. We know what Kirk Cousins is, and that's a big part of the problem. And I'm going to leave on this note right here. I don't know if you heard about this, but the New York Football Giants, who haven't really watched them like the last 4 or 5 years, is bringing back Daniel Jones and that coach. Believe they could really get something going.
Wow.
What the fuck is going on?
Wow.
Seriously? You got to be kidding me. You really got to be kidding me. And another quick note, too. What's the name? I don't know if it's Johnny Manziel or the other quarterback of Cleveland. Raw. Gotta go.
Baker Mayfield.
Yes, gotta go.
Yeah.
Gotta go, bro. Baker Mayfield. I'm sorry. I mean, you kind of thought you saw a little bit last year, whatever the case may be. And OJ, his father knew what he knew. He got his son up out of there because that quarterback is horrible, bro. Even when he throws decent passes behind, it's high. You've been in the league way too long, man, to be that bad, bro. There's no excuse for it.
So let me get to this question because I know it's one of our topic questions. So right now, I know it'll change over the next couple of weeks or the next month or so. But right now, I'll go with you first, Black. Who would you pick to meet in the Super Bowl right now?
I would have to lean on KC. And not because their offense, but their defensive coordinator has been there before, bro. And he has that defense playing better. I mean, he just they're rallying. That's how they won the first Super Bowl. Their defense kind of basically carried them to that win until, the quarterback got it going in that game. But their defense has something going on. Then you go to the NFC. I want to take the Packers. I want to put them there. But the Packers defense to me is so suspect. I just can't. It's like Aaron Rodgers scored so many points. He scored 21 the first half and had 3 points in the second. and their defense couldn't hold. It's like, even though they won, but that game should have been that close, bro. As bad as Mayfield was playing, you still gave up 22 points. I'm sorry. So I don't know. And I would hate to kind of think, but Tampa Bay, bro, Tampa Bay, if Bowles get that defense to knuckle down and Tom be Tom, might be a repeat from last year. Because I just don't trust Green Bay. I just don't. I want them to go. I love to see them go. I don't want to see Tom. I don't even want to see Tom in the playoffs. But I just don't. I don't. I mean, I'm not even going to talk about the Rams. Forget it. Rams ain't going nowhere. That quarterback proved he deserved to go back to Detroit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I Black said the last thing I was going to say. Run it back for next year, a rematch from next year, because those are two teams that have been there before. But who are you picking right now?
Now we ain't running it back, bro. I mean, I'm a big Tom fan. I think he can do almost anything, almost walk on water when it comes to the NFL. But it's been real, Tom. We appreciate you. Time for you to walk away, minus that trophy. I do like the Kansas City pick just because of Mahomes, and when they get everybody back, they're hard to beat. Particularly from an offensive standpoint with Kelsey. You got the running back with the three names. Gets going, and then you just have the wide receiver as well. And the defense just needs to do just enough. And Mahomes just shows you he's ready. So Kansas City is my pick in the AFC. But the NFC, I know y'all expect me to say the Cowboys, but I told you I'm not going nowhere just because of the factor that I'm still not buying it, because I don't think Dak Prescott really understands all that's at his disposal. When you got guys complaining and crying about they want the ball, and then you all of a sudden got to stroke their ego, you're not a team. And I think that's going to be their downfall. And then you keep playing with Ezekiel and stuff like that. Anyway, my pick is I do think Green Bay is going to make it. And I say that because of the fact that this is the year that Aaron Rodgers, they lost last year. You're thinking they were going to do something, came up short, bonehead play, a missed call by the coach. But I think it's their shot. Their defense is really suspect, but the defense has shown you this year that they've been playing oftentimes off the emotion of the offense. So what I mean by that, when the quarterback, Rodgers, makes a play, they get fired up and get some things going on. They got Jones at running back. They got just enough the wide receivers, tight ends here and there. They do just enough. But this is like Aaron Rodgers' way of throwing his, sticking his thumb out at the NFL because all that went on and everything that's been happening. And I think he'll do everything in his power to get it done. And I think they can get it done. I think they can beat Dallas. I know they can beat Dallas. And I definitely think they can beat Tampa Bay, because Tampa Bay they had their shot. It's like like I said before, when you full, you're not hungry anymore, you just don't play like you did. I think that's what happened to Kansas City in the Super Bowl last year. They had already got it. It was like, yeah, well, we'll kind of take it. And time, it was an amazing story. Everybody's talking about it, but I can't see Aaron Rodgers laying down like that, bro. I think it was like, Tom, your time it's a wrap, bro. I'm hungry. I want it. I'm gonna put you to sleep. You have a nice life with your lovely wife and your three sons and the daughter. That's I think how you gonna do it. Put it down like that.
Yeah, I thought I would be the one to be giving the Tom retirement speech, but you got Ice Water giving the retirement speech. Last night, fellas, I didn't sleep until about 5 a.m. and I normally don't go to sleep during that time anyway. But I had to sit there and watch all Madden, and John Madden passed away, and it just gave me more of an appreciation of his career. And Black, what I saw in that special was that you had folks from all over giving him his roses, giving him his flowers before he passed away, because he sat there and watched the whole show as it was going on. And he passed away, which kind of shocked me. And we always have the legacy of the Madden game. And I remember watching him with the Oakland Raiders. I'll give some of the stats later. And then him being on TV, he revolutionized how you watch football by teaching us the game and the telestrator. Nobody was using the telestrator until John Madden, and he was basically teaching us the game. And if John Madden, I don't care what game was playing, if John Madden and Pat Summerall was calling the game, you watched that game no matter whether it was your team or not. Black?
You're right. Those two together, man, was just like, if I'm not mistaken, he got with Pat Summerall, and it was kind of, I think Tom Brokeshire was sick or something.
Yeah, I think so.
And then,
Yeah.
yeah, he just kind of stepped in the booth. And please, Tom never got healthy again. But he came back. It's just what it was. I mean, the man made noises, like you said, to tell us create a boom. I remember a phrase he made. He said, well, he pantsed him. He would say stuff like that. What is Tom talking about? But something about him and Pat Summerall, when they worked together, like you said, it could have been two mice playing each other. When those two started talking, you turned the volume up, you paid attention. And I always remember he would say things, and he wasn't afraid. If you just did something stupid, he would tell you. Classic thing, the Giants would go have 3rd and 9, run a 6-yard pattern. He said, I don't understand. If you need 9 yards, why are you running a 6-yard pattern? When he would say stuff like that, it was so idiotic, but he's one of those guys, if he thought it, it's come out of his mouth. And I love Tom. I love him for that. I mean, the football video games speak for itself. I think really he took the NFL to a new level with the video game. I don't know if it was programmed, he thought it was going to happen, but that game made it to for in the offseason, you played Madden like it was nobody's business, bro. Long before they came with the combine, everything, you played Madden. So when time preseason came along, you were ready. You were ready for some NFL. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy that, as you said, he was able to give us flowers prior to passing, because he did the NFL, a hell of a service, bro. A hell of a, they could be a young coach, step away from that. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. I had enough of this. I'm done. And walk into the booth and then walk away and see he was ready. And a lot of people try to copy Tom. I mean, try to copy Madden. You can't copy Madden. Just be you. Don't try to be Madden. Don't try to be Pat. Just be you. But it was something special about him, man. I mean, he was gifted in many ways to come towards the sport. He just had a way, man. When he started talking, you paid attention and you wanted to listen. And if he said something, you didn't hear it, you felt bad because you felt like you missed something. That's I always remember for that, bro.
Yeah, I see. He made legends. He talked about different players like Lawrence Taylor, Joe Montana, Brett Favre. I mean, he really kind of made you pay attention to these players, and he saw something in them, and he felt, hey, you need to take note. Even Aikman, Troy Aikman, would always talk about Troy Aikman. They always got the big games wherever they were broadcasting. But this guy had an overall record of 112 wins, 39 losses, 7 ties. He had a 76 winning percentage. That's a real high percentage to be a coach in 10 years. Had a 9-7 playoff record. It would always, the teams that I followed when I was coming up were the Giants, Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Oakland Raiders. It was Oakland always was right on the doorstep of getting into the Super Bowl, and then something would happen. And it was gut-wrenching for him, but he finally got that Super Bowl in 1977. Ice, your thoughts about John Madden?
Yeah, and you said it's more or less, this guy's a trifold type of champion, man. And he had that much influence on the NFL. And I start right with the NFL when he was the coach of the Raiders. The Raiders were some of the most craziest personalities you ever known and ever come and play football, especially back in the day when we know they played real football. But he was the perfect guy to handle all that, right? Just all them personalities in that locker room with the Tatums, Atkinsons of the world, and you know, you go on with all that, the Stablers and all of that, and Valentin calls, all of that stuff. He's able to handle it and deal with certain things with all those guys coming through with the Dave Caspers, a lot of personalities. And he handled it. And it says a lot about him as a coach. And I think he went on to take that even further when he stepped into the booth, you know, with Summerall. And he had as you mentioned, he had those quirky little words or something. He said, well, you know, you got the right guard pulling over here, pulling over there, boom, and Ezekiel goes 4,100 yards, touchdown. You know what I'm saying? That's what he does. That's kind of guy he is. You know, and you're looking like, what the hell he just say? But you loved it because it was his way, and it was exciting, and he was not afraid to go outside the box a little bit because he really loved the game. He loved the players. And then I'm gonna just say this, as far as the game is concerned, bro. I mean, it might be, some people might consider it's not the derogatory term, but it's just what it is. That dude was the ultimate video game hustler, bro. For real, the ultimate video game hustler. When the dude is able to go way back, and every year you hear the game, you just go Madden. Remember this, when you think about sports and you say one name, it's like Jordan, It's like Dominique. You what up? You ain't talking about Dominique Dawes. You know who we talking about when we say Dominique, right? When you say Prince, right? When you say Madden, you don't go, well, what Madden they talking about? John Mackey is Madden. We know Madden. The dude had one name, and you knew exactly what you about to do. I'm gonna go pick up that Madden, bro. That's who he was. He was an ultimate hustler, and he allowed it to grow. He really wasn't out in front of it. He did a few commercials, but he wasn't out. He let it grow. It kept growing. He do a little thing, and they had him right where he wanted to be, man. That's straight hustling. You know how much money he got paid for just using his name and sitting back watching, making a few commercials. Dude, that's the ultimate hustler in my mind. You ain't got to say a word. Your image, your presence, and everything that's going on with that game is still selling. I just bought 20 the other day. It's still selling.
I was watching the All Madden special earlier this morning, and what was really cool about it is that, you know, when you go to commercial, they have all these different commercials. They showed all his commercials during the break, and you remember all those commercials, whether it was with Outback or Light Beer. I think that was the first commercial, busting out the screen. He was doing all these types of commercials, and it just made it even more sweeter. And I thought him sitting there watching what people had to say about him, all the beautiful accolades, his sons, who he called his best friends, and him traveling on the bus and things of that sort. That's how, you know, you give a person their flowers while they're still here on earth. So if you haven't watched that special, please watch that special. You'll appreciate John Madden. The two biggest marketing guys in that era was Michael Jordan and John Madden. Let's go to another football story. I'm gonna go through ice with Jacksonville. Who's gonna be the next coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars?
I don't know. I know one thing. They're getting their Rooney Rule thing out the way, aren't they? They're getting that relation out real quick.
You noticed that, right?
Bowles and Caldwell.
Yeah.
They're like, well, you ain't gonna be saying that this time. We got about 3 out the box. We don't know who else. I mean, we gonna go, but you see, we got 3 of them, bringing 3 in. So they taking care of that right out the box. So I just think it depends on what they want to do. It'll be interesting to see. You have you got a young quarterback, you need to fill in some holes. But what do you want? You want a disciplinary, somebody that's really low-key, a players, coach, and bringing back Caldwell, another retread that way. You want to bring back Doug Peterson. I mean, you want to give somebody brand new an opportunity to left wedge. If it was me, I would probably go with probably something new, man. I mean, I like left wedge. I'm not sure if he's the guy, but I think I would try somebody new. I wouldn't. I mean, you know what Dan Quinn did, right? Dan Quinn, try something different, bro. You have a young quarterback. You got a running back that's coming back too that was hurt all year. You got a lot of young pieces, and you could start the ball all over again. You could create it with a young mind, like a left wedge or somebody, even whatever, good offensive mind, and even a good solid defensive staff. They can really change things around and build a culture in Jacksonville because nobody's expecting anything right now. But if you go with a retread, same old dude, whatever, it's gonna be the same thing, man. I just took it because I'm trying to turn things around. It's the same stuff. He wasn't no good in Atlanta over here or wherever he was in Philadelphia. He had to leave. Why are you gonna be better in Jacksonville?
Yeah, it's true. Black, one name I saw missing, and it was Bieniemy. Is that by coincidence, or did Bieniemy like, you know what, we've been through this? Nah.
It might be coincidence. I'm gonna say this, man. I don't think any black coach. I didn't realize. I saw the names of it. I didn't realize they weren't interviewed for it. I'm hoping they didn't. They should turn them down, bro. If you weren't good enough to get a call last time when they hired that idiot Urban Myers under the radar and basically gave the middle finger to the Rooney Rule, don't go down and talk to this joker. Don't even sit in the room. Tell them no. And here's what they need to do. Tell him no, and then do a press conference and tell him why you're not going down there. See, black coaches, to me, they always play this meek role, bro. Don't let him play you like that. He's probably gonna hire Peterson because he won a Super Bowl. He's not any good, but he's not gonna hire a black head coach, bro. He showed you that when he basically chose not to interview anyone. The guy's just out to make money. He doesn't care if that team wins or not. He's trying to get them over to London. That's his main point. If the NFL ever decided to put a team in London, he wants to be the team that goes there. It's his business. He can run it any way he wants, as far as I'm concerned. But I don't even give a damn. I'm glad that his name was not on the list. Hope they hire a retread that runs the team more underground than Urban Meyer did. Seriously, bro. Because this owner's an idiot. And please, I mean, as black head coaches, don't even talk to him and tell him why and tell everyone else why you're not. If a white person would do it, if Aaron Rodgers can defy and lie about taking a shot and then blame everybody else, why is black coaches such in a hurry that they act like, they get dogged out every year when it's time to hire coaches? Stop it. Todd Bowles, you have a good thing going on. What's name? Don't get played that way, bro. Don't get played. You have a guaranteed contract probably with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Who knows? You might move in line with Harrison. Harrison's not a healthy man. Or Aaron's, whoever's name, not healthy. Don't get played like that, bro. Stop getting played. And today are seriously about ready to hire you, fuck them. Don't go talk to them.
Let's go to the NBA real quick. And Kyrie is coming back only for away games, but it seems like the Brooklyn faithful are happy with that. And I'm looking at the stats. Black, you got Brooklyn, Chicago, Milwaukee, Miami, Cleveland, Philadelphia hanging on to that 6th spot. Charlotte and Washington hanging on to the 8th spot. Boston, who I thought would be a team that'd be in the running, they're at number 9. When you look over at the West, you got Golden State, Phoenix, Utah, Memphis, Denver, the Clippers, the Lakers still trying to hold on to that 7th spot, followed by Dallas, and then Minnesota in that 9th spot. They've been playing some good basketball, even though they're in 5-5 in the last 10. But anyway, give me your eye test of the NBA, bro.
Yeah, that Irvin thing is interesting because you look at James Harden, what he did on, I think it was Christmas Day, and you realize that, they offensively, that team is going to be fine. This team is going to be cool. I don't know about their defense. I like the point that Chicago's up there. But when you said Philadelphia dropped down to 6, it kind of intrigued me a little bit because I didn't realize they dropped down that low. But I would not be surprised. I know Irvin is not a big surprise. You kind of figure at some point he might have came back. But with Philly dropping the way they're dropping, I would not be surprised if Ben Simmons suit up at some point, bro. I'd be surprised. They put a jersey on. I would not be surprised at this point. Them dropping because it's not like, and I'm not saying they're losing because they don't have them. But somebody in that organization may think, you know what, the owner might think, well, put a jersey on, see what he got, let's do. Because I don't look, same thing with Brooklyn. You're winning, you're number 1 seed. Why are you rushing to bring Irvin back? I don't understand it. But stranger things have happened. I mean, I'm not even going to talk about the Jokers, the Lakers, whatever the case may be. I'm going to leave them alone. I think Golden State is prime. If they can stay healthy, the big thing about that, if they can stay healthy, I do believe Denver is going to do well after the All-Star break. I think Denver's going to pick up some traction. I'm not a believer in Utah at all, even though they know what we said with their rank. But there was a game where their center had like 30, 40 points, all the inside. You're not going to do that in a good center, bro. It's not going to happen. So here again, I think Denver's going to make a move. They're going to increase a little bit. I would not be surprised if the Fakers don't even make the playoff. If they do, I think it's going to be the play-in.
Yeah. Ice, you had Steph Curry, the first player in NBA history to hit 3,000 three-pointers. And every day they hits a three-pointer, he's setting another record. Give me your eye test of the NBA.
Yeah, lots going on. Things are moving. A lot more COVID cases. We already know that, but I can't believe it. How this is going so crazy and not doing anything about it, really. But as you mentioned, Golden State's looking real good. Except they get Wiseman back, and then they also bring back Thompson. They're going to be a force to reckon with early right now. They're making it be known. Phoenix has been playing pretty good. They're looking really good. Utah, Memphis. I'm surprised at Houston. Houston is 15th, man. 15th, and you're not playing John Wall. I mean, you hate him all you want to, but you're in the 15th seed in the West, bro. And so maybe that coach or something is not going on right over there. They're so desperate now. They're talking about somebody that really just a media person that really probably lost. Talking about what about a trade out John Wall for Westbrook? Really? What the hell? What?
They're getting desperate.
Yeah, I'm saying I mean, that's the media's desperate anyway. But in the East, Brooklyn, Chicago playing well. Milwaukee still hanging around. But with that COVID stuff turning around, you got Durant coming back. Aldridge is coming back off COVID. Irvin, just Irvin, bro. If he played 20 games, they'll get whatever they get. But I'm gonna just say this, because y'all, you know how y'all been saying it all the time about my dude. And I'm gonna call him regular season James, because you know he don't do much in the postseason. But regular season James dropped 36 and 39 back to back when they needed him. My dude was like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I'm watching the game because I know he's gonna drop about 40." That's what he does. When he by himself and ain't nobody else is around, he dropped 40. Should he be a better player in the postseason? Yes. But I know when it comes to the regular season, everybody was out. Then they had no hope. LeBron played. Everybody else played except for Anthony Davis. Same way with the Clippers, with George out. That man was like, "I'm the best dude on the court these 2 nights. That's what I'm doing." Remind me when, I'm not going to compare him to this, but I remember a time George Gervin was my favorite player of all time because he could score points like that. Remember one night they played Boston with Dennis Johnson, then they played Indiana with Dudley Bradley. And they said they was going to stop the Iceman. Iceman dropped 47 and 55, baby. I'm just saying, you got dudes that just score, and Harden, love him or hate him, rising to the occasion. We'll see what happens down the line, but I was impressed by them 2 days, 36 and 39, 2 wins for his team.
Yeah, I mean, there was a whole slate of games during Christmas. I think I caught a couple of games. And then at some point during the Christmas day, you just get burnt out in sports because it's just too much. It's just too much. And you got to watch a movie or the Christmas Story with Ralphie, and you'll shoot your eye out or something. Next is college basketball. Going to the top 10, Baylor still holds on to the #1 spot, followed by Duke, Purdue, Gonzaga, UCLA, Kansas, who's playing right now. Also, USC, Iowa State, Arizona, and Michigan State. Auburn also is playing right now. It's a full slate. It's some good games going on right now. Auburn playing against LSU, who is undefeated. So we'll see who comes out of that one. And LSU, I believe, is ranked number 16. Give me your eye test, Ice, on college basketball.
Yeah, I wanted to see that game, that Auburn LSU. I think Auburn jumped out to an 18-1 lead.
Yeah.
Game, and now LSU has come back. They're only up by 8. But that's 2 powerhouses that are really playing well. I still like that Baylor, man. I don't know if they're going to win it all, but I like the way that they're playing. They get a major test. They play Iowa State on Saturday. Iowa State is 12-0. So I want to see how that plays out for them on Saturday. Another team that has popped up, I'm really looking at closely and impressed by the way that they're really putting it together, is the number 7 team in the country. That's USC. The Trojans are really playing well. They're undefeated as well. I want to see them versus UCLA down the road, and also against Arizona. So we got a lot of teams that you want to see whether or not they're contenders yet. Still early, but I like the way they're playing early enough. And like I said, no matter how you say it or look at it, you can never count out Kansas, bro.
Yeah.
Kansas is always around. Kansas is always hanging around. So it's gonna be interesting. Blackthorn trying to study early, because he better. He got caught up in that Gonzaga-itis last year. It looked good for a minute, but at the end, it got a little shaky, but it's all good.
Oh.
Now, I'm looking at the schedule, and I'm so glad that they have the tournaments where you see the big powerhouse teams play really early in the season, because around this time of year, you see a lot of cupcake games and folks kind of gearing up for conference play. Blackthorn, give me your eye test of college basketball.
I didn't get a chance to catch too much. There was so much other stuff on, bro. I didn't really get a chance to buckle down, so excuse me for this week, but I will lock in. I'm still glad it's kind of early. I kind of focus a little more. Of course, I'm taking my pointers from Ice. Every time he talks, I got somebody to back kind of transcript what he say. I go back at the end of the show and I reread it.
I don't say too much, and you ain't listening anyway. So I'll say.
Oh no, he's listening. Good, he's listening. I told you that 2 years ago. Yeah, he is listening.
It's always fun. The hits don't stop after football season. They ran right back up with college basketball season. So if you're ready for rants and the hits, they keep coming all year long. But college basketball should be interesting this year. I want to see the game on New Year's Day, Saturday, between Baylor and Iowa State, because both teams are undefeated. Somebody's has to go. So I'm really looking forward to see that game, because Iowa State's ranked number 8. You got Baylor ranked number 1. I want to see how good Baylor is against, a conference rival, and whether or not they can stay undefeated, being in that number 1 spot. And so you got Ice up there with the notebook. Black says he already has somebody transcribing Ice and what he says. We're gonna move right along. To college football. Let's get to the predictions of the playoffs and college football. We have 2 big games coming up on New Year's Eve: Michigan versus Georgia, as well as Alabama versus Cincinnati. Black, I'm gonna go to you first and talk about these 2 teams and give me a prediction, man. What do you think?
I kind of believe Michigan has some momentum going against Georgia. Georgia, to me, kind of flaked out when they played Alabama. They kind of got exposed. That defense is not as powerful as they made them out to be. And you can kind of push them around early, get them tired. They was playing Alabama, man. In the 3rd or 4th quarter, those defensive linemen they were barely coming out of their stance, bro.
Yeah, that was sad.
They were barely moving out of their stance. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I think that I think Kirby does a decent job in Georgia, but he doesn't have the hounds yet to kind of win. So I'm gonna go with Michigan to take that one. Since the Alabama's gonna be interesting, because I kind of believe that Georgia kind of lit a fire under Alabama, and that quarterback is playing out of his mind. Even though I think Cincinnati has a good offense, I don't think they've seen any team as talented and as deep as Bama. I think that's what's going to undo them. I think that Bama's going to basically be able to kind of score early, score fast, and going to put Cincinnati in a situation where they have to really come up against their defense. I don't think they'll be able to. So I'm taking Alabama and I'm taking Michigan. And for now, I'll leave it at that, because we'll probably talk, whoever wins, we'll talk about maybe the following week. But I really believe that Michigan, it's hard to say, but Harbaugh got something going now in Michigan, man. I remember a couple of years ago, they had a chance to kind of let him go, and I thought he should have been gone. But the AD decided to kind of hang in there with him, ride it out a little bit, and he's on to something. And I think it's only going to get better, because at some point, his recruitment will get better. Now he's starting to win some games. He beat Ohio State, got him in the top 4. So, I think they're on a good trend.
All right, you got that. Those predictions in. They sound real solid. Ice, what's your prediction? And what do you think about the 2 games coming up?
Michigan, Georgia, I think it really comes down to ball possession, right? Who scores first, time of possessions, things like that. Who can instill their will? We know Michigan wants to run the ball. Their quarterback's halfway decent. Who can control tempo? The one thing I think Michigan has to do, I'm going to pick Michigan, but I think it's going to be dependent on this. The Michigan quarterback, Cade McNamara, has to make plays. If you try to just run the ball like they've been doing, like they ran against Ohio State and ran it well, I think Georgia has a chance. Georgia is not going to try to score a lot of points. Georgia's not going to score 31 points, right? They want to keep it close. They want to keep it tight, keep it close to the vest. And if the quarterback, Cade McNamara from Michigan, does not play well, I can see Georgia winning that game. But I think that Michigan don't give them the upper hand, because as Black Thor mentioned, they're on the roll. They kind of doing just enough as far as the quarterback, because he hasn't shown that he's a dynamite quarterback. But if they can do just enough, I think they win the game. But again, if he does not make plays, if you try to run the ball against Georgia, Georgia's defense is still solid. They got top-notch guys over there. And secondaries is just not good. That's all it is. It's kind of like what Ohio State did to Michigan State. Secondary is bad. You bomb them up, and that's what you do. But the question is, can Michigan get that done? But I think they will, but we'll see. On the other game, Cincinnati versus Alabama, we all know what it is. Everybody's pointing to Alabama, 14, 2-touchdown favorite and whatnot. I don't think it's going to be that a bigger 14. I think they'll win, but I think it'll be less than 14. Couple reasons why. Since Alabama's without one of their main wide receivers was a Michie. Yeah, John Michie's out, which means all that's going to come down on Jamison Williams, the former Ohio State Buckeye wide receiver, transferred out, went to Alabama, who stepped right into the role that they needed, a top-notch number 1 receiver, and he's been that. You know, and he basically almost kind of single-handedly beat Georgia by himself by them throwing the ball up. And then Bryce Young, the Heisman Trophy winner, has been on fire. But the one thing that I tell you, be very careful. Two things real quick. Cody Bryant, the defensive back for Cincinnati, is the defensive back player of the year in America, and also Ahmad Gardner. Them guys right there are going to be coming for Mr. Williams. And I don't think they're going to win the game, but I think it's going to be a lot closer because now you have the defense of Cincinnati has to put pressure on the quarterback. No doubt about it. If you give the quarterback enough time to play and throw the ball, he will eat you up. But I think those corners are going to come back after Williams, make his life a little bit more difficult. And I know they're not going to win it, but I think might keep it a little closer than 14 or under that is the fact that Luke Fickell is the coach. And Luke Fickell's been part of 3 national championship teams at the Ohio State University. And as much as everybody laugh and joke about certain things, I guarantee you, and Black Thor, get ready to laugh and shake your head, because I guarantee you, he made a call to Urban Meyer how to handle that thing with Mr. Saban, to just talk about the strategy and philosophy. Laugh what you want to. One thing he is proving in on the college level, he can win. And as when he came to Columbus, Ohio, the one thing they had a thing they came over here talking about the SEC monster. And Urban Meyer once told people in Columbus, I'm not scared of Saban. I was the monster. So all I'm saying, I'm not saying he coming back in no other form or fashion, but coaches do talk and strategy goes a long way. So that's all I'm saying. Leave that right there.
Wow.
Well, my prediction, run back the SEC championship game. I think Georgia will take out Michigan, and I think Alabama, even though it'll be a tough game, I think they'll take out Cincinnati. And we'll come back for the predictions for, if I'm right, Alabama, Georgia, running back the SEC championship game one more again.
Can I say one more thing real quick?
Yes.
If that was the case, I just wish they would have done that shit right now.
that was not a good game.
You know what I'm saying? You should just make it 1-4 and then let's get it out the way. Because it's not going to.
That's not a game you want to wait another week to watch.
I'm not watching. If they do that, you ain't gonna. I will not turn the TV on. I promise you.
That's how a lot of people are gonna feel, but I think that's what's gonna happen.
Hey, I got a movie right here I need to look at, Body and Soul. I'm gonna be watching that if they show it. If that's the championship game. I'm telling you.
I want you on that, man. That game was not impressive. It wasn't a good game to watch. I can't believe Georgia can do anything different than what they did the first time. So I mean, I'm not blaming the committee for it. If you're gonna leave Georgia in, you probably had to. And Alabama, was in there. I mean, thanks to Auburn, because Auburn could have took care of it. It could have been totally different.
Yeah.
If they would have did what they had to do. But that game was just not worth seeing again, bro. It's not. It's just not even worth.
Right. But the championship too? Nah, hell no. National championship. What's gonna be different this time? They cannot stop the wire. They cannot stop the pass. When they play against a quarterback, they can throw the ball, they get killed. So I have no, and I love football. I love sports. You do not, I promise you do not have to worry about me watching that. And I would say that about a lot of games. I'm good.
As long as they ain't got the Peyton brothers commentating it during the game, I'm watching. Let's go to questions from the squad. Black Door, what's your question?
I like it when commentators aren't afraid to say some things that are going to get some attention. Stan Van Gundy said the other day that Westbrook's triple doubles aren't really what they should be. I might be misquoting them, but in other words, they're basically empty stats. You agree?
Ice?
I wouldn't go far as to say they empty stats, but let me thought. But I am impressed the fact that he was able to do what he did and win the MVPs and stuff like that too. But the one caveat that I always said that I don't think they were on par. His stats were not on par with Oscar Robinson's when he had the triple double for the whole year, is because Oscar Robinson was the only one doing it. James Harden was a smidgen off of a number of doing the same exact thing, which to me didn't make it as special. Grant, I mean, he did it, but Harden was like maybe a fraction off of an assist or a rebound. And it was like that. But when Oscar Robinson did it, there were no others. So my question is, how hard is it if you really concentrate on it? And then too, the way he would, at the end of the games, at times go after rebounds when he really wasn't playing the game. He was trying to pad the stats. We know that's true, allegedly. So yeah, I'm with him on that. I won't go far as they're meaningless, but it's a little shaky if you want to compare that to Oscar Robinson, in my opinion.
No, I think it's a little disrespectful. That's an accomplishment to get a triple double digits in points, double digits in assists, and double digits in rebounds. That means that you're getting boards. Boards wins championships. Now, if he would have said that, Russell Westbrook's, defensive effort was a little bit suspect, I can go with that. But, if he's giving the ball away, in double digits, that means somebody else is scoring. He's getting rebounds. That means the other team's not getting rebounds. And if he's scoring points, what else can you ask him to do? But I thought when he said that, it's a little bit disrespectful. I think he just sometimes says things just to get, attention, because nobody's really paying attention to Van Gundy anyway. So I thought it was a little disrespectful of that. Anybody who can get a triple-double. And I do agree with Ice that, during Oscar Robinson's day, that really meant something because there was no three-point shot. And I think the competition was more stiff during that time and the rules were different. So I think that's a little bit disrespectful. Give the guy his due. If he's able to do that and he's able to do it damn near all season, you just give him his due. Black?
Is he doing it now? I don't even have the answer. And that's the thing, bro. I mean, I touched on it basically how he would pad his basically his stats. And I'm not going to say, here again, I like when people say, what they believe and what they think. I think Russell Westbrook went out of his way to get the triple doubles, bro. He made sure every night, whether the team won or lost, I'm getting mine. And as you see now, he doesn't have a game. He doesn't have a game. There's one thing Oscar Robertson, I believe, did that Russell probably won't ever do: win a championship. And you spoke of basically at a different time when the defense was different. I seen Russell Westbrook basically come down to defense, just stand at the basket. Just stand there, wait for the ball to come to get a rebound. Raw, because he wanted to make sure he got 10 rebounds. He wanted to make sure he got this, he got that. I'll give you the point about the assist. I'll give you that. But if he's doing it in the flow of a game and his team is winning, I respect it more. And I'm not trying to take it away from, but I do think it means more that way. And you look at Russell Westbrook's career, that's all he's got, bro. That's all he has. It's nothing else. I mean, I'm assuming if you looked at Oscar Robertson play defense, I would tend to believe he played better defense than Russell Westbrook.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there it is. I mean, that's what it comes down to me. He determined that he wanted to have that in his stats, and that's what he's going to basically hang his hat on. Now, is it totally empty? No, not really. But it does take some of the light off of it because I don't think it's truly earned. That's the question I have. He knew that would give him attention. He knew that would give him an MVP. And even when you put James Harden in the same thing, it's the same thing. Also, just like I said it earlier, what has he done in the postseason? James Harden. What has he done? I mean, we know what he's done. Nothing. So I'm not impressed that you score a bunch of points and you gun all year, and then when this really matters, you don't show up. And I think that's what Stan Gundy. He's been around for a while, bro. True or not, he's been around, and he's seen some of the same players we grew up watching. And out of respect to those players, I think that's how he made that statement.
Let me ask you this real quick. Like, because I see some of the point guards in the NBA now, they're kind of hybrid point guard / hybrid two guard. I noticed that when Oscar Robinson did the triple doubles, it's when his team needed a rebound, his team needed the assist, his team needed the points. If Lou Alcindor was getting double team or whatever, that's when he would step up and do it. I tend to think that these hybrid point guards, because Russell Westbrook to me is not a point guard. He's in a point guard position, but he wants to play two guard. He wants to be the scoring guard. Same with James Harden. He holds the ball a lot, but he wants to be the scorer. My definition of point guard is that you run the team, you run the offense, and when you are called on to score, that's when you do it. What are your thoughts about that?
I agree with that, but let me drop two names out to you that if they wanted to basically do the same thing Westbrook done, they could have done it. Michael Jordan was one. Michael Jordan could have made sure he got 10 rebounds a game, bro. He could have made sure he had the assist. You know he's going to put the points in. Magic Johnson is another. Magic Johnson, if Magic Johnson determined in his mind, I want to have that, he could have had it. And that's the difference. I'm just saying, Russell determined in his mind, regardless of the team, he hasn't been coachable, which I find to be amazing. He hasn't been coachable. So regardless of the team, he put himself in his stats in front of the team to make sure he was going to be a standout, knowing that the team probably had a chance to win a championship. I'm going to get mine, so to speak. And I think if any backlash, when you hear what Stan Gundy is saying, he may not say that fully, but that's what he's thinking, is that you've done it in spite of the team. What's name did it with the team. Yeah, maybe he had to go down there and grab the rebounds because we all sitting there, Jabbar was getting double teamed, but he did it to help the benefit to win. Russell did it to benefit himself.
All right, good point. Ice, what's your question?
Yeah, my question is, we talked about it earlier, like last week or so, but I want to throw it again about Becky Hammond and possibly being the Spurs coach. But now it appears that there's some true interest by 2 WNBA teams for her to come and become a head coach at the WNBA. And it seems that she's interested too. Do you think she should move forward with that first, or just wait to see if the Spurs going to make something magical happen and she takes that job?
Black?
I don't think she should go back to the WNBA. Even if it doesn't happen in San Antonio, you're in the gate. You're in the gate. You're just in the gate. Eventually, something may happen. Another team may pick up and make you assistant. You never know. You go back to the WNBA, you basically close the door because they're not going to pull you back from the WNBA to coach or be an assistant coach in the NBA. It's not going to happen. I mean, there's no luster, in my opinion. I'm a big fan of WNBA. But if you're in the NBA, there's no luster going back to that league to coach that league. There is none. I mean, unless you just that hung out mentally where you want to be a head coach, I'm sorry. Stay with the Spurs as long as you can and ride it out till something else best happen. I mean, we look at Steve Kerr and we forget Steve Kerr was assistant coach under who for a good period of time. He played under who for a period of time. So everything that she's learning, even though you're not the head coach, you're learning and absorbing a lot. It's going to pay off at some point. And I know it's going to be tempting for her, but I really hope that she doesn't go back to the NBA as coach, especially New York Liberty. Are you kidding me? You're gonna go to some franchise that ran down, that's basically gonna be yelling and screaming, nobody's gonna be paying attention. You're gonna be losing a lot. No, stay in the NBA. Please stay in the NBA.
I hope she doesn't go to the WNBA. I hope she stays in the NBA, even if she's not the head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. And I hate to say it, but it would be a step down to go to the WNBA at this particular point. And I was going to say what Black said about Steve Kerr. Hung in there, got his shot, and look where he is now. So she has to make a choice of what she wants to do and where her destiny lies. But I would hope that she stays in the NBA, and some NBA franchise will say, you know what, we're going to give you a shot. And I think she's come too far at this particular point to go back to the WNBA. It would be like, what did I do all this for if she went back to the WNBA? Ice?
Wow, that's interesting. I see it from your angle, but considering that the WNBA and the NBA played 2 different seasons, right? That's the first thing. I just don't know. I mean, I know you talk about staying the course, but I'm not sure when the NBA is going to let this happen. I'm not sure when they're going to allow her to be the first woman or a woman to be a head coach. And the NBA and primarily the owners. San Antonio talks real good. Portland, they interviewed her, talking about she's in the top 2. That's all well and good. Until you let that happen, I'm not sure when it's going to happen. And she could be, who knows how long it's going to take. My point would be if she goes to the WNBA, she goes to I don't know, I think Bill Laimbeer may be leaving and she may take it over Las Vegas or whatever, which doesn't have a really horrible team. To me, if she goes to Las Vegas and she proves that she can coach that team as a head coach and does well there, then you're kind of showcasing your work as well. Or you just stay and wait. I think if she wants to, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Or, I mean, it's up to her, but I wouldn't have a problem with her going to prove that she's a hell of a coach. She is. But if you go back to the WNBA, I don't think it's a step down because she still has her spot. She still recognizes what's going on. It's not like she's dropping down to college. the WNBA is supposed to be a professional league, but she goes over there, really shows that she's capable again. Another way to prove that she's capable of getting the job done for a WNBA team. I think you just add to the resume. So I mean, but it's up to her. But if you really honestly think she's gonna get a head coaching job within the next 5 years,
I do.
I don't.
I do, bro. I would rather see her go. I'd rather see her go coach a G League team than go back to the WNBA, bro. Because you've seen coaches get called up from the G League and come up. Just like you said, Portland liked her. They liked her interview. They didn't hire her. Her time will come. She gotta put her dues in, bro. And not only that, she needs to market herself a little bit. Becky Hammond need to go out there and market herself a little bit. You get to know these owners. When you're out there playing, you go on these different arenas, go over there and introduce yourself to these owners. They don't know you. They only know you as a woman on San Antonio's bench. Get out there, get your name out there, market yourself. But yes, I believe the mere fact, and I'm not saying Portland could have been blowing smoke, but if they're saying that she was number 2, she's in the ring, that is close, bro. That's very close. You're leaving that to go to, even if Las Vegas, trust me, is a better team than the Liberty. I get that, but stay in the NBA. Yes, you can at some point, some owner is going to basically say yes. And at some point, the NBA, just my opinion, if the NBA got behind gay men playing basketball, at some point they got to get behind her being a head coach, bro. It's going to happen. They got to get behind it. They're going to put a little pressure and it'll happen. Within 5 to 10 years, I think she will be a head coach. I still think she has a chance to be a coach of San Antonio Spurs. I do. Pop just is not ready to go yet, which to me, Pop, you need to go. It's time. We love you. You know, you had your henchmen. You had all that. It's no longer there, Pop. You've done all you could. I know you lost your wife. We feel sorry for that. But, bro, at some point, even Red Auerbach had to step down. You got to move on, bro. There's a life outside of basketball. You stepping that away from the Olympic team was the first move. This is the second move, man. Turn that over. Even if you want to go upstairs, turn it over, consult her, help her out, bro. Do that. Because it's just not there anymore. You don't have the same horses you had before. And it's sad that he doesn't see it. It's time to move. Whether she got the job or not, bro, you holding that franchise back. You're not helping them. As well as you've been for San Antonio, you're not helping them.
I would hate for her to get lost in the sauce in the WNBA and miss out on opportunities and not be in the mix in the NBA where people are like, hey, what about Becky Hammond? And yeah, I would hate for her to get lost in the sauce because to be honest with you, when the WNBA season is here, it's hard to find a game. So, you know, we're trying to pick up on the players and the teams, and we can't find them. But in the NBA, you're always going to be there. The light is going to shine on you. You're always going to have, the presence there that people are seeing you, seeing what you could do. If Pop gets thrown out of a game, whatever, you are stepping in. So you'll get more visibility. I think you'll get more attention being in the NBA. In my opinion.
I just think that I don't believe it, man. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody talking about it. She was second. Okay. If she's second, how come she didn't get the job? I'm just saying. But go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, but Ice, you got to look who they hired. They hired Billups. I mean, realistically, if you put her up against Billups, you're going to hire Billups, bro. I mean, Billups was probably, before he got this job, he was second a few times of jobs. We landed this one. That's not his first time going off a head coaching job. He had a chance to be a general manager. So Billups has been around. They know him. Again, I mean, I know it seemed like a big stretch. I know it does, but I think she's very, very close, bro. Very, very close. I do. I think there's an owner out there in the NBA. NFL, you're saying NFL, I'll be like, yeah, it's, these old, greasy old white men. I get it. But the NBA tends to be less conservative, and they will at some point jump on a bandwagon just for publicity. And, just for that alone. So she's close, bro. And she's earned the right to be a head coach in the NBA. It's not like she's just out there, she's some woman. She knows it, bro. She's learning from Pop. She knows it. And not only that, the players like her. The male players like her and respect her.
I'll just say this. Again, I believe it when I see it. I think it's closer to 10 than it's 5. When they can say what they want to, but it's like anything else. Until you show me you want to hire her, it's just talk. It's talk. And if maybe San Antonio, they like her. At the end of the day, you still got to win games. You got to win. You got to, and granted, I mean, I'm just saying, you got to win. And,
yeah, let's say it took 10 years.
You got to, I go with 10.
The 30s, late 30s?
I give you
10 years. I mean, if it took 10 years, I mean, I look at they put up the record, and I'm not trying to compare apples to apples here, but they put up the record of the coaches, Denver Nuggets, right now. Last time I was watching him play. He's basically barely over 5. He's been there 7 years, bro. So my point, a lot of these coaches in the NBA are mediocre. And I'm not saying he is, but a lot of them are. She's got to put her time in, bro. She's only been on the bench, what, 3 to 5 years?
And that's what I said. I mean, do I think she could possibly do it? Yes, I do. But as you said, the time's not there. I mean, really, we hear about it, but I think it's going to be more closer to 10 than 5. But I think if the team that's going to do it is going to be San Antonio, as much as the league is open to it, the owner's still trying to win games. And she, unfortunately, she cannot prove that she can win games until she gets opportunity. I get that. But at the end of the day, you got to F and win, man. I mean, I understand it is a reach, and I just had to see it, man. I don't believe it.
I see, but think about this. The head coach that won it last year came from what pedigree? Popovich. The Milwaukee Bucks coach. He came from Popovich, bro. That's what I'm saying. The coach right now, if I'm not mistaken, the coach that was selected to take over the Boston Celtics, where did he come from? It took him a while. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like you just got to put the time in, bro. Pop has got coaches around the league. He does. So my point is, you're going to take that. And if she goes double, I guarantee she's going to make less money. Yeah. It's going to be less money. It makes no sense. It just doesn't. I don't know who's in her head. Tell them no. It makes no sense to go back to WNBA. I like the league. It just doesn't.
I'm going to say one last thing, and it ain't going to be popular. I still think it makes a difference that she's a woman. It just does. Because if you said if she was a man and she had been putting in the work and showing that she's capable, I think her shot would have came a lot earlier. I do. I mean, granted, I mean, that's fine. I mean, we'll agree to disagree. Yeah. Like you said, it's kind of like when we talk about how things are with certain people, the money talks, BS walks. I mean, if that was the case, we'll just have to see. But I think that it still plays a part because it's going to take some team. It's going to take an owner that is open to it to go, I don't care. I think she's the best person for it. I'm going to open the door for her. But until that happens, I just think there's still some behind the scenes biases. There's still some Playboy Network stuff going on.
I'm not saying it's not, but look at Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing couldn't cut it, bro. Yeah. Patrick Ewing, he did everything he possibly can. So it's no guarantee. I'll say that. But at the same time, Pat just thought if I became an assistant coach, that was enough. No, Pat. I mean, Pat had a history, let's be honest, of not talking, not being marketable, in his own mood. Same thing, do Jabbar. Yeah. You can't basically represent yourself this way for years, all of a sudden decide, okay, I want to be a coach, and everybody want to get fussy about you, bro. I'm sorry. You can't. That's a lot of things. It's amazing to me how I'll just say this. I see sometimes where these point guard and these guys become assistant coaches. You know why? Because they market themselves before the game gets started, bro. They're thinking beyond the sport, what they're playing. They go over and talk to this one. They go talk to that. They go, you know what I mean? And that's what they do. And that's what I'm suggesting Becky Hammond do. You got to get out there and market. Don't wait until it's time to go for a job to go out there with your clipboard. No, go out there, get your name out there. During the pregame, go talk, go shake hands. Let them learn you and know who you are. Because it's a lot of time who knows you as well. But I understand, don't get me wrong, there's some bias. But I do think the NBA, she has a shot, bro. She got a better shot being on the bench in the NBA than coming coach. She go to NBA, the WNBA, she kills her shot. It's done. Name me the coach that came from the WNBA and basically came over to the league. It's done. She is forgotten about. It's like, and they're gonna think that if she leaves, they're gonna look at you weren't tough enough to ride it out. That's what first they're gonna think. They may not say it, but they're gonna feel that about it. You weren't tough enough to ride it out. Ride it out, sis. I mean, it's going to take a little while longer. 10 years, so what? So what? It's worth it. 10 years, the amount of money these NBA coaches are going to be making in 10 years, bro. Think about it. Imagine what you make now on a losing coach makes now in the NBA. Imagine what she's going to make 10 years to be on a losing team. Okay. And not to mention the money she's going to make off the floor.
Yeah. So let me bring these two back together with this particular statement, this announcement. I want to congratulate Candace Parker for winning the AP Female Athlete of the Year. Look at the faces. Look at the
Do we
faces.
got to talk about her? I'm sorry. We got to find a way to bring up Candace on this season, bro. Congratulations, baby.
Congratulations.
You know you're still on my heart. I don't care who you marry.
You're still fine, girl. You're still fine. Sorry.
You can marry Kurt Terrence for all I care.
You still fine. We just got to take you off the Wu-Tang cut, but you're still fine. Congratulations.
Last second shot, Ice.
Yeah, when just looking at this thing, man, it's been a hell of a year. I hope that that 2022 is better for life and then for sports in general, man, because people, you never know how much and how important sports is to people. And I know we talk about money and things like that, but if they don't have pro sports, man, there's gonna be a lot of unhappy people at the house, and might be some things going on we don't want to see in amongst the family. So, hey, it's on y'all, NFL, NBA, NHL. Y'all need to get your people in order and make sure they get this vaccine COVID thing under wraps, because you might be hurting some folks at the house, man, with your foolishness, because you won't take care of your business and about being healthy.
Black, last second shot.
Ooh, it's interesting because I look at this COVID and I see the numbers are crazy, more than ever been, and it seems like nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares. I find it to be amazing. No talk of bubble, no talk of nothing. And the numbers are out of the world, but they're higher now. They've been in the past 2 years, but life still goes on. Wow. Maybe there's a lesson to learn from that.
Wow, that's deep. I'm going back to Madden, and a lot of coaches have a lot of different rules that they go by, but Madden had 3 rules that he wanted his team to play by. And those 3 rules were: be on time, pay attention, and play hard. And I think you can take that not only on the playing field, but in life. We're coming back with the NFL picks. Stay tuned. Welcome to the NFL picks week 17. You have Ice Water. He had a 13-3 record last week, and he needed every one of those wins to take the 1-game lead. He has an overall record of 157, 82-1. Black Thor right behind him, 156, 83-1. Pops is 3 behind Black with a 153, 86-1 record. And we're not even going to speak on me. I'm in 4th place, 143, 95 and 1 record. Any words, Ice? Because it was cutting it close last week. And I think the game that got you over the top was the New England Buffalo game, where you went the other way. What's your thoughts on that, sir?
Bang! Like I tell you.
Boom!
All I can say is it took a hell of an effort. The 13-3, that's probably one of the best records all year. And Black Thor is coming. He always coming. He always right there knocking on the door. But, you got to stay tight, baby. I said, there's no way in heck I thought Buffalo was going to lay down again. All those crazy wins and everything. They couldn't even pass the ball. I think Josh Allen was like, I'm a little pissed off. They owe us, so we're going to get back at them. Although it's a hell of a comeback by New England trying to come back at the end, but it's tight up in here. Pops dropped back a little bit, got a little hot in the kitchen.
Pops saying nothing.
He got hot. They got hot in the kitchen. So, it ain't, look, like I said, many are called, few are chosen. It's hot up in here.
All right, Black, what you got to say, man?
Wait a minute. Pop, why won't real quick before I get started? Did Pop say anything this week? I don't hear Pop talking.
He's still concentrating on the picks, trying to get the picks in, trying to make a last minute run.
I want to point something out before I even talk about what's going on. I commend Ives being, winning that game and taking a 1-game lead. It's tight. Pops are not too far behind. But I watched the CBS show this past week when they was playing Cleveland and Green Bay, and they put Nate Burleson in charge. James Brown was not there. Boomer Esiason, stop being jealous, bro. He's young, he's Black, he's better than you. They're not putting you in charge, bro. Remember you was on Monday Night Football? You was a playing buffoon? Get over it, man. He's coming. Nate Burleson is coming. He's taking over CBS. And yes, he looks like us. Deal with it.
Yeah, he's the Michael Strahan of CBS.
Yes, sir.
Doing the games, he's in the halftime show, and he's working on Good Morning America. And so, man, he looks like he belongs. So I've seen him on the morning shows in CBS and seen him on CBS at halftime in the NFL. he looks like he's there to stay. And if James Brown decides to step away for good, they got the guy. They got their guy.
Yes, sir.
All right. The picking order for this week is Black is first, followed by me, Ice, and then Pop. And I already have his pick, so we'll start off with our first game. The first game on Tap Black is Jacksonville at New England. Who you got?
Belichick might play quarterback this Sunday, bro. I'm taking the Patriots. Belichick might sit up this weekend, man, to play quarterback because he damn sure ain't liking Matt Jones like the rest of us. So he might play Patriots.
I'm wondering what he's going to do with the other quarterback that he drafted out of, I want to say, Auburn. Previous year, Statham.
Yeah,
he's gonna put him in.
He stinks.
Yeah. Well, I gotta go with New England, regardless of who's playing quarterback. Maybe they'll run it and then pass it 3 times like they did last game. You can win and beat Jacksonville that way. So I'm going with New England. Ice.
Yeah, that's easy. I mean, I think I chose Jacksonville once this year. Will not be doing that ever again. Kind of like the Jets. You get one pass, one go. But no, it's Mac Jones. They will land on their feet. They probably come in very angry. They might actually blow Jacksonville out because they're still mad, but they think that game last week got away from them.
Yeah. And Pop goes with New England also, so it's New England across the board. Next game on tap is Atlanta at Buffalo. Black, who you got?
This is the type of game Buffalo is going to lay down. I wouldn't be surprised, but they're playing Atlanta, so why? They don't need to. They're going to give you the game anyway. Buffalo. Here we go.
Let's go Buffalo. I'm going Buffalo also. Ice?
Yeah, Buffalo, easy. Like I said, they're trying to get back. They won that big game. Now it's like they can't afford to lay down. So they're going to get ready for the playoffs. All
right. Buffalo across the board. Pop goes with Buffalo. Next game on tap is Kansas City at Cincinnati. Black, who you got?
Kansas City trying to hurt some people, man. They're trying to hurt you. Burrows.
525 yards.
Yes. That team is coming, bro. I hope next year they're better next year or this year. They'll make a little noise this year, but they're not ready to deal with KC. KC's on a mission. KC.
Yeah. Also going with Kansas City. Ice, who you got?
Yeah, you want to get into a shootout. I mean, you had your week last week. You're going to score 51 points against Kansas City. Even if, like I said, the 3 of us could go to Kansas City and Mahomes will put us in the end zone. So, yeah, Kansas City is definitely going to make it happen. So, Kansas City.
Yeah, they found Hardeman last week. So after I talked about him last week, but they found him, and he got into the end zone and he helped them out to win. Papa's going with Kansas City too. Kansas City across the board. Next game on tap is the Los Angeles Rams at Baltimore. Black, who you got?
Yeah, Baltimore is they're taking anybody now to play, man. I'm gonna take the Rams with this one. I think the defense. I think the Huntley might be back this week. Even if he's back, man, that defense is going to be way too much for him. I'll take the Rams.
All right. I'm going with the Rams. Also, Ice, who you got?
Is that in Baltimore?
Yes, it is.
Man, if Lamar Jackson wasn't beat up, I'd take a chance. But Aaron Donald and it's too much. So too much defense. So I'm going to go with the Rams.
All right. OBJ is making a presence with the Rams. So Papa's going with the Rams also. Rams across the board. Next game on tap is the Las Vegas Raiders at Indianapolis. Black, who you got?
It's hard to go against the Colts at this point. I don't like their quarterback, but that running back, man. When he was at Wisconsin, he's doing his damn thing. I'm gonna take the Colts.
All right. I think he is in COVID protocol, Wentz.
Good.
Good. Yeah, you said good. So I'm going with the Raiders.
They say he might play anyway, though.
Yeah.
They say he might. They say he's not deep in it. You know they shorten the time now. 6 hours now.
Don't cough and you're in. So I'm going with Las Vegas. All right, so you got?
Yeah, if it was in Las Vegas and then the quarterback was out, I might roll that way. But nothing else. They have ball control with Jonathan Taylor, who's trying to be in the ranks to be considered the MVP of the league. They just play a smarter game at home, and the Raiders don't play great on the road with that time change. So I'm gonna take the Colts.
All right, Pop is going with the Colts also. So I'm the only odd man out. Next game on tap is Miami at Tennessee. Black, who you got?
I don't trust Miami, even though they kind of make some noise.
Like 7 to 8 in a row, right?
Yeah, they're look at the teams they're beating up on though, and they still need a quarterback. Tennessee, baby.
All right, I'm going with Tennessee also. Ice, who you got?
Yeah, Tennessee makes it can be very mean, particularly at home. Miami's doing a heck of a job just being in the forefront in the mix. Nah, I mean you cannot trust them to keep winning the way they do. Because Tennessee showed you they can rise up at any time. They can disappoint you, but they also can rise up. This week they'll rise up. Tennessee.
All right, and Pop is going with Miami.
All right, Pops.
Okay.
Do that thing, Pops. Do that thing, baby.
Yeah, I mean 7, 8 in a row. You can't deny that. But yeah, I had a chance to watch Miami in the last game, in the Monday night game, and they played a solid game. I thought they played a solid game.
Did you say that coach should be fired 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, but I still don't believe that they can beat the top tier teams. But they played a solid game against a really bad New Orleans team at this particular point. Next game on tap is the New York Giants at Chicago. Black, who you got?
Take Chicago, baby. You know, Matt Nagy's trying to save his job, especially if he starts what's his name? What's the quarterback that won it for Philly? If he starts Foles, yes, sir. You better start Foles. At least you can win 2 games going out.
You know, I'm the only Giants fan here in Chicago, so I ain't moving in third or second or first place anyway. I'm going with the G-men. I don't care. I cannot pick Chicago at this particular point of the season. They both stink, but I'll go with the ugly girl that I came with. So I'm going with the Giants on this one.
Remember you ever did fantasy football in your draft time? Some people didn't show up and the computer picked their picks. This is going to prove it sometimes. It's been auto draft. He's here, but his pick is on auto draft, man.
Ice water.
I mean, you know, there's an old Red Man song. He said, you picking the Giants? I don't know what you seeing them. They ain't shit. Mama ain't nothing. They ain't nothing. Ain't nobody nothing. Anyway, but
I hate to cheat on you, bro.
I'll be there.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I need some red right now. I need some red. Anyway, but Nick Foles showed me that he was ready, man. I think he's just trying to get an audition. He's like, oh, I think I'm sitting over here just chilling.
Pretty much.
Getting everybody snacks. He said, hell no, I'm ready to play. He grabbed himself. You call my name? He ran out like,
they had him on the practice squad.
That's what I'm saying. But he grabbed himself. And he said, I'm going to show y'all. I still got something left. With that being said, I like it because of the fact that, you know, you saving Fields. You know, as I said earlier, Foles could have been playing a long time ago, but they did what they did. But I'm going to choose Chicago because he looked good last week and had a nice connection with the receivers and the team.
All right. Pop is going with Chicago, so I'm the odd man out there. Next game on tap is Philly at Washington. I mean, Black, who you have?
Yeah, Philly got something going on. They realize they just run the ball. A lot of defense to be their defense. Washington, I don't know what they're gonna do coming back at that loss with the Cowboys, man.
That was sad.
Yeah, that was brutal. They should kind of do that game, put a Heidi game on, Heidi something on, but that was ugly. And I didn't even watch, but I looked at the score from time to time. I was like, this is not pretty.
All right, I'm going with Philly also. Ice, who you got?
Dude, I was watching in and out of the game, and I turned right back on when they showed the replay of the fight on the sidelines. I was like, man, are you kidding me?
Yeah, Papa texted me about that. Yeah.
I was like, y'all fighting on the sideline? And one dude like a little kid, what'd you say? Put his hand up on the dude's head. You know, he smacked it. I mean, dude. And Ron Rivera's like, I didn't see it. I talked to both of them. I didn't see it. These motherfuckers, everybody mad, everybody angry. How the hell can you pick that team? Seriously. On national TV, and then they go into this whole tangent. Well, they're not really that bad team. They're really not. They're good guys. They're frustrated, and the media's going to run with it. You damn right they are. Anyway, with that being said, that solidifies my pick for Philadelphia.
Well, it's a clean sweep with Philadelphia Eagles. Pop goes with the Eagles also. Next game on tap is Tampa Bay at the New York Jets. Black, who you got?
Wow. Quarterback for the Jets better ice up. It's going to be a tough game for him. I'm going to take Tampa Bay.
All right, I'm going with Tampa Bay also. Ice, who you got?
Tom Brady gonna play the first half, and then Antonio Brown's gonna play quarterback in the second half because he's trying to work on his fantasy points. Did you notice he was the #1 receiver last week when everybody was hurt? And boy, he clowned like it was nobody's business. He was like the guy because they got other guys in COVID or whatever. Evans is out. And look who pops up. I told y'all at the right time. See how this stuff happened? Y'all think this is just by coincidence. He popped up at the right time. And look who came back. Oh, there he is. Hey, how you doing? Trying to tell you, man, they know what they're doing down there. I'm going with Tampa Bay.
All right, it's another clean sweep. Tampa Bay across the board. Pop goes with the Bucks. Next game on tap is Houston at San Francisco. Black, who you got?
Man, this game's at Houston be a lot easier because Jimmy G is not playing. Damn. Wow. Yeah.
All right, who you got?
When you
I'm gonna take San Fran, baby.
No blackout. Who you got?
I'm gonna take San Fran. San Fran has been playing well. Their defense has kind of been holding up. There's gonna be a lot of that receiver, number 19. I can't think of his name right now. He's gonna do everything for them more offensively.
Debo.
Huh?
Debo.
Debo, yeah, he's gonna do the Debo. Yeah, I'll take him. I'll take
right.
Debo for the win.
All right.
Good answer.
What you got on 40, Debo? I got Debo also in San Francisco. Ice, who you got?
The problem is the Houston's quarterback, the young quarterback's been playing well, maybe looking good for the future, maybe allow them to get rid of Deshaun Watson when that opportunity jumps up. But he's going to be a major problem, even with Garoppolo not playing. That defense has been crazy lately. That defense in San Francisco been crazy, and they coming after Houston. And, your offensive line don't block. You can't make plays. So that's going to be enough. San Francisco will win this game.
It's San Francisco across the board. Pop goes with the 49ers. Next game on tap is Denver at the Los Angeles Chargers. Black, who you got?
Los Angeles Chargers. They'll bounce back on that. I don't trust Denver. Los Angeles Chargers, they'll bounce back on this one. Division game too.
I don't trust Los Angeles, but they're better against the Denver Broncos at this particular time. So the Chargers I'm going with.
And the coach of Denver said he deserved that one more year. For what?
No.
For what? No. You should never been hired.
In the experiment. And please, Denver, end the experiment and send John Elway out with him. Please, end the experiment. Ice?
Yeah, the Chargers got embarrassed, bro. I mean, literally embarrassed. And then to come back home and they got to take it out on somebody. No Teddy Bridgewater. For Denver. And they still have not figured out that rookie, the rookie running back Williams is pretty just on the same par as Melvin Gordon and should be getting more touches. You might figure that out when it's too late. So with that being said, I'm going to take the Chargers.
All right. It's the Chargers across the board. Pop goes with the Chargers. This should be an interesting game. Arizona at Dallas. Who you got, Black?
3 weeks ago, I would have took the Cardinals easy. But I seen something with them watching them last week, man. That safety, when the quarterback came across, when he came on the sideline, he was like, what's going on? We got to do better. He's the only one into it, bro. I think the rest of them have basically decided they're going fishing. And they're in the playoffs. So I don't think their heads are in the game. And this game's been played in Dallas. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to take the Cowboys, bro. I hate to even say it. It puts a bad taste in my mouth because I was hoping the Cardinals go down there and blow them off the field. But the Cardinals have been just like, playing a half a quarter for 3 quarters, and it's like, nailed it in, man. And I think that's partly due to their coaching. I think this coach, he hasn't ever been to the point where he knows how to groom these young men, kicking them in the ass, and they're taking advantage, bro.
I'm going to go to Arizona one more time. And because I can't believe that they just fell off that much throughout the rest of the season. Now, if they beat, and usually Dallas doesn't play well with teams that really have winning records or teams that can hit them in the mouth. So I'm gonna chance that, go with Arizona. Ice, who you got?
Well, no DeAndre Hopkins, so that takes that away. You got to go to the tight end Ertz as a primary receiver. But then you also have one other gentleman that's sitting there waiting on the sideline, waiting to play. AJ Green.
I I could be in first right now, baby. Right
Got that
now.
Jerry curl. AC
No,
Green still got that Jerry curl.
Yeah, so AJ Green is I think Dallas. I think if Hopkins was playing and was healthy, they could probably beat them in the shootout. But right now, Dallas is really playing well. The defense is fired up, and they're starting to move ball around. And they're going at that little dude this week, bro. Little dude been running for his life. I think he'd be do well if he runs the ball a lot this week.
Yeah.
But if he does do that, you got Parsons and they got old boy back, the other dude that's they just got some monsters, and now they having fun. A little dangerous game to play. I'm going with Dallas.
I'm looking at Parsons and how he they showed on our Twitter feed. We kind of showed and I think retweeted something somebody sent about all his interceptions this year. Most of the interceptions, he has the guy covered. I don't know why quarterbacks are throwing in his direction if he has the guy covered. I mean, he's covered. He's going to go. It's like a 50-50 ball with him. Or he gets it, they knock it up in the air, and, it's the tip drill. But, I'm not sure why quarterbacks are throwing to receivers that are covered by him, and he has them covered, thinking that they can get through a narrow window and get the ball to the receiver. I don't know why. But Pop is going with his Cowboys also, and so that takes care of that. Next game on tap, this Carolina.
I'm sorry about this, John. Who did Ice pick again?
He picked the Cowboys.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, what?
That throwing me off, man.
Yeah.
So what it is.
Next game on tap is Carolina at New Orleans. This is gonna be a bad game. And then you got Darnold Black, who's starting because Cam is 0-5.
Realistically, who's going to quarterback Carolina next year? Forget this week, bro. They're running through. They just never went away from Bridgewater. I didn't understand that. He was doing well for them. I don't get it. But at some point, this team, I mean, the fans are getting a little tired of this coach. And I'm starting to agree with them. You came in well. You look good. If you thought you can resurrect Donald, you do need to be fired at the end of the season. I hate to tell you, don't win another year. New Orleans is just bad, bro. They're bad. They're just. I'm gonna take Carolina with this one. I'm gonna close my eye and take Carolina because New Orleans is just bad. I don't think New Orleans is gonna muster more than 6 points, bro. I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm not saying Donald will do much better, but they're bad.
Wow. I'm gonna go with New Orleans. Carolina, they're really, really bad, and I don't see Darnold doing any better at this particular point. If Cam could come in and Darnold was there, and Darnold was any good, then Darnold will be starting. So, wow. This is going to be a really bad game. It's a toss-up game. Ice?
So my question is, where's this game at?
It's in New Orleans.
Ooh. Oh, my God.
What you got? Texting people to tell you who to pick? Y'all did.
You got this. You got it. You got it.
On the phone.
But you got it. Yeah. All right. For real? That's what you think?
Taking a poll.
I know that's what he said, but yeah, is that what you think? I just have to check with you because you know how we go. What's the line on that again? Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, I'll call you back. Anyway, so let's talk to my people. Oh my God, who won last month's one? I'm gonna go with New Orleans, man.
This is the game right here.
Yeah, this could be it. The break I've been looking for.
No doubt. I'm gonna go with New Orleans. Carolina, Darnold's playing, but if the New Orleans defense just rises to the occasion, which they can do, and it's at New Orleans, yeah, I'm gonna roll with New Orleans. I don't believe it.
Pop is going with New Orleans also, and so Black is going with Carolina, the Panthers.
Yeah, can I change my? No,
Next game on tap is Detroit at Seattle. Black, who you got?
Oddly enough, if this game's in Detroit, I would take Detroit. I ain't gonna lie to you. I would take Detroit. It's basically, I mean, Seattle's kind of like a done deal. I didn't realize this till a couple of weeks ago. They were basically saying the quarterback is not popular in the locker room anymore. I'm like, whoa. And I think part of that's due to offseason, how you handle things. Because you threw offensive line underneath the bus, bro. You really did. That, I mean, these guys are got to protect you. Well, anyway, I think they're home. I think Seattle pulled enough pride together to kind of get this done over Detroit. I'll take Seattle.
All right. I'm going with Seattle also. All right, so you got.
Yeah, Seattle. I mean, they didn't play well. I think they got a little bit more pride. Russell Wilson, I think he at least wants to kind of show that they can beat a bad team. So Seattle.
All right. It's Seattle across the board. Pop goes with Seattle. Next game on tap is Minnesota at Green Bay, which should be a good game because Minnesota always plays Green Bay pretty tough. Black, who you got?
Is Kirk Cousins playing? Yeah, I'll take Green Bay.
If he wasn't playing, you were going to take Minnesota?
I'll take Green Bay. I'm just going to take him faster because Kirk's playing. You can count him. He's going to at least throw 2 interceptions. At least 2.
Sad to say, but I think that's true. I'm going with Green Bay also at Lambeau. Ice, who you got?
I told you, team going to the Super Bowl and getting ready. So I'm going with Green Bay. No problem. Kirk Cousins can do all he wants to. Green Bay.
All right. Green Bay across the board. Pop picks Green Bay. Next game on tap is Cleveland at Pittsburgh. Black, who you got?
Wow. I think Pittsburgh has one more left in them. I do. I think they got one more left in them. I think they got one more. I think Tomlin got one more left in them. It's funny because there's some guys in the radio think, well, Tomlin's done a great job coaching his team, huh? Not this year. I mean, I like Mike Tomlin. Get me wrong. It's like sometimes I speak out against him, but bro, I don't see the great coaching done on this team, bro. I just don't. With that being said, Cleveland don't rely on the run enough to win. If they did, they could win this game easily. Easy. But they won't. They're still going to try to have, Baker be Baker. So the Steelers.
All right. I thought the same thing about Pittsburgh Steelers. Even just when you think they're done, they come back and they jump out and they hit you. And so being at home, and this is one of the last home games, if not the last home game for Ben. Why not? Ice?
Yeah, the fact that you let Baker Mayfield run your squad and kind of dictate when he wants to be out there, and he's not able to throw the ball. He's overthrowing people, underthrowing them, side arming them, looking like Jim Zorn and all that other stuff. I mean, looking like John Candelaria when he played with the Pittsburgh Pirates. I mean, damn, what the hell's going on? But with all that being said, the one caveat that really made me want to choose, or I'm going to choose Pittsburgh, is because this is Ben's last game at home. They're gonna bust their butts to make sure that he goes out the right way. And they are like, I think they're like 17 to 18-1 on Monday Night Football. So Cleveland's not ready. So they'll find a way. It'll be ugly as hell, but they've been having a lot of horseshoes in their pockets for Pittsburgh this year. They'll find another one this week.
Oh yeah. Pop is going with Cleveland in this game. So I think that's a pick where he just don't like the Pittsburgh Steelers at all. So this is his way of like just throwing dirt right back on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think he's still sore about them Super Bowls. I really
think so too. Wow, man. Let it go, Pops.
Those are our picks. Check us out on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram. Peace. Welcome to the fight game. Ice Water, Puma. And there's one fight coming up, or not one fight, some heavyweight fights coming up in the new year, January 1st. And I know there's one fight that I'm looking forward to see, Ortiz and Martin. I've been watching Martin fighting the heavyweights for quite a bit now. And we all know Ortiz is the guy, he's game. He's going to be looking for a knockout and then take you out. So what are your thoughts about that fight and other fights that are coming up on this card?
Well, I don't know about them other fights on the card. I'm going to talk about that. You had the ones on the card, you can mention them, but this is the only fight right now that kind of I'm going to speak on and matters to me. Charles Martin, as you mentioned, is an up-and-coming fighter in the heavyweight division. He's trying to make a name for himself, right? Kind of put himself out there. And he's going against a guy that nobody wants to fight in that division. The only guy that took the oomph to go against him twice, Luis Ortiz I'm talking about, is Deontay Wilder. And Ortiz was close in both fights, actually maybe have been winning the second fight.
Yes.
He got knocked out in the first fight. But the one thing is, he's a tough customer. Any other time you've seen him, he takes no prisoners. He's an older guy with crazy power, and now we know why people have been running for him. But to Charles Martin's credit, stepping in with a monster. You know what? Sometimes you got to face the bully, and we find out how good Charles Martin is because Ortiz takes no prisoners. So if he can beat him, it's a huge notch on his belt. It basically puts him up in the conversation to really either, if not get a shot at the world title, to be put in line.
Because I've seen Martin before, and people have been talking about him even fighting Deontay Wilder or getting a fight with Anthony Joshua and some of the upper echelon heavyweights. And he seemed to have some skills. He has to me, a nice jab, and seems to be game. But it'll be interesting to see how he handles Ortiz in this fight. There's some other fights that are happening on this card with Frank Sanchez versus Carlos Negron. You have Jonathan Rice versus Michael Coffey II. You have Gerald Washington against Ali Aran Demirzirizin. And so I guess you have some other fights there. But this is, we always hear Matisse Blackthor about fighting, and he always like to wait and call me up and wake me up when the heavyweights happen. This early in the year, happening on the first day, we had some fights on Christmas that were pretty good fights with PBC, with some young fighters coming up that I'm looking forward to see. But to put this heavyweight lineup at the beginning of the year, the PBC is really kind of making a statement that, hey, we want to start off the year with some great fights. And I think this Martin and Ortiz fight will be something that we'll be talking about next week.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And I think that's where you start. And Luis Ortiz has been waiting for a while to really get a real shot. We saw him his last fight. He just demolished the guy. But he's stepping it up in the upper echelon. Also, too, when you look at some of the other fighters like Andy Ruiz, right? He had the opportunity to call out Ortiz, but he didn't want none of that. Nobody wants him to do it, man. Nobody.
Ortiz is like 40 years old.
Yeah, they don't know his age or whatever, but he's there. So kudos to Charles Martin for taking the fight. But we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out what Charles Martin is made of for sure.
Any other fights or fight news that we should be up on?
Yeah, we got a couple things coming up. Get ready to check. You can mark your calendars on January 15th in the heavyweight light heavies. Joe Smith Jr. versus Callum Johnson. It's gonna be a nice fight to watch for people. On January 22nd, it is the return of Gary Russell Jr. Gary Russell Jr. will be fighting again against Mark Magsayo, January 22nd. Also, in February 5th, it is the return of Keith Thurman to the welterweight division against Mario Barrios. He's saying if he wins that fight, he can be ready in a few more months. Maybe thinking about trying to take on Terrence Crawford if he wins the fight. February 12th, the Daniel Jacobs has fought Triple G, fought Canelo as well. Will be going over to England to face John Ryder. It's a very dangerous fight for Daniel Jacobs to go across the pond to see if he can get a decision or do better. And also two other ones real quickly. February 26th, the undisputed lightweight champion of the world at 140, Josh Taylor, faces Jack Catero. And that's actually a junior welterweight, at 140. Junior welterweight at 140 on February 26th. And then sometime in February, a rematch that you definitely want to see because a lot of people thought it was close and could have won anyway. In the junior middleweight division, with I think 3 or 4 belts on the line, Brian Castano versus Jamel Charlo. Definitely a fight you do not want to miss.
All right.
Rematch.
All right. Have a great New Year. Enjoy the fights on New Year Day. That's Ice Water. I'm Puma, and this is the Fight Game.